You checked out buymeacoffee.com/illuminate? You should. It's free to follow. There's also membership tiers. You pick your experience there, but it's uncensored and where you can find all of my work. If you haven't done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and thank you.
I ain't getting no help.
You've been looking for someone friendly, knowledgeable, and with adequate products in the CBD department?
I know who to see.
Well, Stanky Farms has got you covered. From their farm to your hands is their motto, and their products, they stand by them.
And they give it to me.
Whatever it is in the CBD department, they've got it. So make sure you check out Stanky Farms. Everything from flowers to edibles are available.
You're the one for me. StankyFarms.com. From our farm to your hand. High quality, hemp-derived natural.
And use code EPTIMES, all caps, at checkout for your chance to save. Welcome to Illuminate. I'm Erica Parrótt. Thanks for tuning in again. It's Friday. And, well, it's time to rewind it. Talk about all the things that weren't on MSM because Lord knows there were plenty. I mean, yes, we had a state of something address. If you want to call it the union, cool. I mean, because to hear them tell it, well, the nation is stronger than ever. But, it's been quite an interesting and kind of week because you've got the Moderna patent. Oh, y'all didn't hear about that? That wasn't on MSM. The DOD removing links about where biolabs are situated. COVID most definitely started in a lab. Oh, y'all didn't see that news break either? I mean, there's been all kinds of stuff. But my favorite one is, well, did you see all these power outages in Taiwan? Did you know that there's like a few biolabs in Taiwan? Do you remember when Ukraine started? And there was like a systematic shutdown of lights. Like you actually kind of saw it happen during a news broadcast. And then bombs started. And they were falling like in places that there happened to be biolabs. Wonder if Taiwan's seeing the same thing. I mean, I'm not there. I'm just a woman with many devices going at one time, cross-referencing, researching, and looking at things and pulling skirts up. I'm not just taking what's being handed to me. Sorry, call me skeptical. I mean, after, 37 years on this earth, and especially the last 2 years, well, I think it's time to really investigate things. Can't keep taking it at face value. And here's a prime example of why you should investigate things. Did you guys know that while they are seizing bank accounts of, freedom convoyers in Canada and seizing property, because, trucks were towed, things of that nature, they turned around and started auctioning that property off because they want to help the taxpayers reclaim damages that the freedom convoyers protesting did. Did y'all know there's another protest going on right in Ottawa? All they did was they removed the freedom convoyers and, well, insert Ottawa stands with Ukraine. Really? I mean, there's a big old write-up on the Facebook groups that are keeping everybody linked in. Didn't you guys just ban Facebook groups and go to people's homes to check to see why they were posting about freedom convoys? So all of a sudden, protesting in the streets is fine. So that means all those bouncy houses that caused damage for the freedom convoy, you're going to give that money to the taxpayers, right? Parliament, right? Canadian government? Because, you're using the taxpayers as your excuse for needing to sell property that you illegally took. I mean, granted, it looks like on paper y'all did it legally, but you created loopholes to cover your ass. So it's still illegal. Just because you created a loophole illusion does not take the legality out of it. So yeah, but you don't see that on MSM, do you? Streets are just flooded with blue and yellow flags. Are you gonna take this Ottawa stands with Ukraine and make them pay back restitution for damages and holding up the day? Don't worry, I won't wait for that answer. Because what they're telling you is, as long as it's an approved government message, if it works for the narrative, protest away. I mean, it's what they told you last year. Look at Minneapolis and all of those places. As long as you were on their narrative side, do as you see fit. It's sad, it's scary, and it's time for that to just... But my favorite thing going on right now, we have had so much red-handed dumb shit caught. Yeah, I said it. Associated Press was caught last week. It was this week actually. They were caught using footage from another war, trying to pass it off as things going on currently right now in Ukraine. But the image that has really got everybody at a tizzy is this one. Y'all realize that's from 2001, right? Don't believe me? Here's the original article. For the record, it's 2022. So, chronological order says, well, they're circulating an old picture and trying to make you feel some kind of way. You don't really know what's going on. Now, do you? Because you're here, not there. But to know that they are using fake footage should tell you all you need to know. This is one of those you should just probably step back from, which is why I haven't really touched it with a 10-foot pole. Some things, just grab a chair, sit back, enjoy the show. You don't need to be part of it because you wasn't there at its creation, and it's going to aggravate you to no end. So just grab a chair and pull up and just watch it. That's all you need to do with Ukraine. Just sit back and watch. Because it's going to blow your mind. I'm telling you right now, it's going to end up blowing your mind because it's every day blowing mine. So, yeah. I mean, I heard it through the grapevine. There's countries meeting about giving up constitutional rights, during emergencies. Y'all look into that one yet? Did you even hear about that one? Exactly. HIV. Still being pushed. Take your test. Take your test. Biden even alluded to that in his speech when he was talking about the CDC and lowering the guidelines and standards are falling because numbers are falling, which didn't the CDC just pretty much adjust their numbers, which adjusted the ratio? Okay. Anyways, so is there a correlation between the vax and HIV? Well, I have found a really cool medical journal sit-down show that I like, flccc.net. And on the 16th broadcast of February, they kind of touched on this for a minute. And the link, again, it's in the description. It's part of that flow in the blog. And it was interesting because one of the doctors on there has been really watching his patients post-COVID, post-vax, all these different scenarios, and doing blood exams. And because what he's looking for is, and he's even getting these things done and approved through insurance at no cost, because what he's telling them is, look guys, this isn't experimental. What I'm now doing is I'm trying to help everybody out and figure out what could be coming at us. What is long term? What are we looking at? I'm trying to save everybody time and money in the future. So naturally, insurance companies are like, cool, find us whatever you can find us. So they're helping with these testings and covering them, which is phenomenal. Good. Finally, you're doing something for the people. And he was seeing that there's a real immune suppression It's sort of like an acquired immune deficiency. It is an acquired immune deficiency, but it's not in the sense of how we would think of it right now. There's a thing that looks like HIV. When it's not treated, it gets really out of control. And it has nothing to do with HIV. But it was very interesting when they were directly asked, do you think there's a correlation between the vaccine and that? And their answer, I can respect. It's too big of a question to take on tonight because that is still being developed. We are watching it closely. We're watching it closely. But can we pass on answering that tonight? That's an answer I can respect. You know why? We don't know. We are all sitting back to wait and see. But what we do know is, what we are seeing with our own two eyes, everybody should get checked and know your status. So take that as you will. It is what it is. Like I said, so much happened this week. And well, I really want to finish this. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe. And we're going to go ahead and you know what we're about to do. Because did none happen this week. Not a damn.
Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
Terminal condition.
Terminal. Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton?
Dying.
I say dead.
You stay locked away. So it's no surprise they want to keep the party going. And a letter to Congress on Friday, Biden said, quote, the national emergency concerning COVID-19 pandemic is to continue in effect beyond March 1st, 2022. There remains a need to continue this national emergency. Cases and hospitalizations
So it's about 9 a.m. on Monday, February 28th, 2022. As you can see, that's the VIP club of the Premier Palace Hotel. I'm walking down to Khrushchev, and I'm going to the supermarket to get some food. They've announced that it's okay to go to supermarkets and pharmacies. The problem that we're having is that because of the weapons that the Zelensky regime handed out willy-nilly in the last few days, a lot of criminals have these military-grade weapons, quite frankly. And so there's been robberies, there's been looting, there's been rapes, there's been all kinds of havoc because of these criminals. And it's known for a fact that these a lot of the shooting that went on last night in Kiev had nothing to do with the Russians. The Russians were 10 kilometers or more away from these shootings, so it was clearly probably gang-related, gangs settling scores and shooting one another. That's something that the Western media is not talking about, of how the Zelensky regime, by handing out weapons, has basically given weapons to all the criminal elements in the city. And the criminal elements in the city are, first of all, figuring out their dominance hierarchy in this anarchy that the government has created. And soon enough, once that's settled, they'll start targeting the civilians. That's what the Zelensky regime has done, okay? So let's not pretend otherwise. These people have they are creating chaos in Ukraine in the name of, the people fighting against the Russians. It's absurd, it's irresponsible, and it will only hurt the Ukrainian people. And I've come to the conclusion that the Zelensky regime is evil. And I live in Ukraine. I have Ukrainian family members. I think that the Ukrainian people are a brave, gentle, and wonderful people. But at this time, I think that the Zelensky regime has gone insane and should be, Anyway, for those people, there have been some people who've claimed that I'm lying about being in Ukraine. As you can see, this is Khrushchev Avenue. I'm standing right in the middle of it. This is probably a first in history. I'm standing right in the middle of Khrushchev Avenue, and you can see in the distance everything. And so anyway, I'm sorry if I sound a little frazzled, but I'm actually worried about getting shot, man. Not shot by the Russians or shot by the Ukrainian army, but shot by fucking criminals that the Zelensky regime has armed here in Kiev. Dude, I'm so fucking angry, man. These fuckers are creating chaos. And this will not stop the Russians. That's the thing. It will only cause the death of civilians. The death and suffering of civilians.
So all in all, it was yet another week of insanity. And it was also a week that included blatant, if you were watching, copycatting. No one had an original thought. People were trying to use things of the past or use things that someone else had said and now make it their own. Yes, I'm talking about Biden. And just a hint, if you're wanting to save money, Biden, you don't have to spend a ton of money to put scanners at the border for drugs. Just stop selling them, government. You guys are the biggest drug trafficker and manufacturer that is walking the earth. I said what I said. Until next week, stay safe, stay happy, stay well, and most of all, stay aware. You hold the key to your release, and may you have a blessed weekend.